This is Jazz 313, a special from Athens, Greece, celebrating the life of humanity, eradicating myths and falsehoods as has been told throughout history. Remember, to control a person, you must control their culture as well as their diet. Thou shalt not steal only prohibits the violation of our brothers of private property as well as intellectual. But it also means that we are not willfully impede our brother's success, to restrain his progress, to restrict his development, to take advantage of circumstances in any ways which are contrary to love. Athens, Greece, the 8th Commandment of Honest History. I'm going to, before I start, I would implore you to hit closed captioning and get a pencil and a piece of paper. This is dedicated to Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Asa Hilliard, Arthur Schomburg out of New York, the Puerto Rican. But we want to celebrate our Aztec brothers, our Chaldean brothers. Remember, it's 181 countries in the United Nations. There's recognized there's 8 billion people on this earth. The Eurocentric view of history, we're going to just start right here at Greece. We're going to go 0 BC all the way back down to 145 million years ago with the Aboriginals. 8,000 BC was Kemet, which is Egypt. Bread was made with ovens. Egyptian hieroglyphics for the former writing systems used in ancient Egypt, used for writing the Egyptian language. Hieroglyphics combine logographic, syllabic alphabet elements with some 1,000 distinct characters. The Greek alphabet we know have 24, the English has 26, so every language. But we're just going to celebrate everybody. 14 BC, pottery was discovered in Japan for cooking methods. 7,000 BC, Jericho settles the oldest continuously city in the world, which is Palestine on the Jordan River. We just left Israel. It was kind of dangerous. I had to get out of there. It was, I'm not really familiar with what's going on, but we're on our way to Casablanca to relax. But I've been in Athens for a week and just studying this. 6,065 BC, rice was harvested in China. 5,000 BC, wine in Mesopotamia, present-day Iraq, which is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. 5,000 BC, the China, the Hosa River, they cultivated rice. 5,000 BC, Nubian, which is the Sudanese or the Kemet or modern-day Egypt, they did the Egyptian Delta, the Delta Plains, and was able to irrigate. 4,000 BC, horses was domesticated in Asia. The Bronze Age, where we're at right now in Greece. And when you listen to some of the people in Greece, they like to tell you that the whole world was started in Greece, which is another myth. It started in Ethiopia. When you listen to the Hippocratic Oath and you look at all the scientists' names, they use Greek names. And I'm not taking any away from my Greek friends because they preserve this. You're looking at the Parthenon. I'm gonna give you a panoramic view of just Athens and just the people here. And just the people are nice. The food is great. I mean, you see the mountain range. There's just so many. But I just want to just educate you. 3000 BC, the lunar calendar in China. 2900 BC, India, they did cotton and rice and all the spices. You know, you heard about this silk trade. 2600 BC, Cheops, the big pyramid in Egypt. And they just discovered yesterday, I was listening to BBC, Cleopatra's grave in one of these islands off of the Greek islands. If you know anything about Cleopatra and Bathsheba and David and Solomon, that was in Ethiopia. The algebraic system was in Babylon. The Chaldeans did that. Stone Age was in England, 24 2400 BC. Nobody know how those things got there. The hieratic laws in Babylon, which they use right now. The solar calendar in Egypt, 2000 BC. Crete dominated. Lima beans cultivated in Peru. Egyptian Queen Tai. King Tut, the English grave robbers, I can't think of his name, in 1922 took all that gold. The Trojan War. The caste system was 1000 BC in India. But, it's so much to unravel because I need to unwrap and unravel your mind. In America, they have black fraternities that call themselves Greeks. They should call themselves Black Africans because that's where everything was stowed. When you look at this temple, this is what they call the Parthenon. They trying to reconstruct this. And if you go to Adi Symbol down in Aswan, down in Egypt, the same exact structure. So somebody stole from somebody. And when you look at the obelisks all over the world, they stole them from Egypt. You can go, those who live in New York, go to Central Park. They have one there. When you see the big Washington Monument, that's all derived from Egypt. 950 BC, the king of Israel. 950 BC, the Persian ruler Cyrus. Constantine. Greece state begins. 753, Rome. Italy was founded. So it's just a whole 612 BC. Hannibal. When they talk about Hannibal the cannibal, that's crazy. When you look at Shakespeare, how he tried to make the Moors insignificant, that was a group of people. We're not even talking about the Watusi people down in Africa, as well as the Congo and the Zulus who've been there for thousands and thousands of years before colonialism. But we're only focusing on 0 BC back to 140,000. And if you like what I'm doing, please click and subscribe and share. If you find any ambiguity in this, remember, everything I'm telling you, I've seen with my hands, with my eyes. For the last 2 weeks, I've been on the world tour, just confirming this information before I put it out, because I want to educate and uplift all races, not just the European race, not just the black race, not just the Asian race, not just the Arab race. God, you remember all of us have 206 bones in us. The Temple of Athia, Nike, I'm going to drop one tomorrow. I think I'm going to go see that one tomorrow. Dublin in Guatemala, Spain. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Plato, the philosopher during the 5th century BC, was a student of Socrates and later taught Aristotle. But some people say Socrates was created, when you call it history and then you call it mythology, that's another smokescreen of lies. Just look around at this temple right here. I'm gonna just pan in on this one right here. That's the Temple of Queens. That is a remarkable. Some of this stuff is 6,000 years old, 3,000 years old. We don't know if it was made or was hijacked and brought here, but nobody know how it got here. But anyway, I want to conclude with "Thou shalt not steal." Please take into account everybody's culture. Respect everybody's culture. The Aztecs with some of the great pyramids is down there. Nobody know how they got there. It's just something to be said about life and about people. And you look at China. This is what you've been learned, what you have been taught in these universities in the Western Hemisphere is just 10% true. So you got to seek your own truth, do your own research. Right now, we're in Athens, Greece. If you get a chance to come here, it's cheap, the weather is nice, the people are nice. Go to the antiquities and come see how they was doing plumbing. And I saw in Egypt, it's Rome. You go any place, everybody want to act like they was the first. But the truth of the matter is Ethiopia. In those underground temples that look like they was built yesterday, that's 10,000 years old. Again, thank you for sharing and giving me your time. I want to leave an imprint. You have a voice. This is my voice. It's correcting some of these lies that have been told to us by people who use it as a control. Like some people use religious texts for control. But these are facts I'm giving you. Again, until we meet again, Jazz 313. We'll just take it in. That is Athens right there. Just look down at it. It's just beautiful. Beautiful. This country only had 10 million people that live in this country, but 10 million people visit this site a year. I just want to bring it to you and just come. I mean, it's a beautiful city, safe. You know, I'm gonna try to find something in Casablanca. The jazz scene is good, but it's not like it was in Israel. I mean, in Israel, you got a chance to listen to you know, a whole lot of, I don't want to say underground jazz, but some guys is coming up, and I just enjoy myself. Right now, this is all about history and about facts and about correcting the lies that have been told to you. And I'm not saying everything's a lie, but I'm saying 90%, because I don't know how can you have a history that don't include the originators. You know, the world didn't start and end in Athens and Rome and London and America. Remember, America was only 400 years old. You know, the Aboriginal people, they was there way before the Europeans even thought about, when they was living in the caves. And then, you know, talking about the Boers, there's just so many things in history, but I'm just focusing on my little bit. Again, thank you.